Yeah, hello to you watching me out there. My name is Fandov Azike Azike. Today, I will be talking on the topic why our politicians are corrupt. Why our politicians are corrupt. Share, share, and share. However, if today is your very first time of seeing my videos, please kindly subscribe. When you subscribe, you will gain as well learn more of practical political education that are not taught in the classroom. You will also learn more of personal and leadership development. Do not forget to click the notification bell, like the video, as well your comments will be highly appreciated. Without wasting much of our time, why our politicians are corrupt? This very topic is to expose the reasons why the individuals that we handed over our trust, our rights on the basis of trust and character turn corrupt. These individuals, some do have the tendency of corruption, while some have zero tendency for corruption. But on a large scale, all become corrupt, thereby making the life of the people unbearable, thereby making the whole system unbearable for the people, for their personal gain and aggrandizement. This very topic will educate you on the areas where you can as well make an amendment to make the society a better place. Do not forget that the nation state becomes underdeveloped as a result of corruption, and our nation becomes a captured state as a result of corruption. Corruption is more deadly than any other disease that existed in the surface of this very earth. Now, why our politicians are corrupt? One of the reasons why our politicians are corrupt, even if from the onset they have zero quality or tendencies of corruption, while some also possess on a lower scale, is of the pressure, because of the pressure coming from the people. When people begin to pressure public officers of their personal needs, their personal challenges, against the public interest, when families, friends, close allies begin to make requests on individual basis, these politicians will begin to find a way to please and not to offend some others, will now use their privileged office to begin to satisfy and favor most of these people, thereby begin to abuse their office, begin to indulge in some processes that is against the system or his personal way of life, just to please this set of individuals. That is one of the areas why these people that are not corrupt before, or who have these corrupt tendencies on a lower scale, begin to grow and begin to exhibit these tendencies. So you as an individual, you must realize that public interest is for all, for the greatest happiness of the greatest number. But your private interest will not serve the society at large. You have to manage your personal challenges, your personal needs, and allow the public officers to serve the public interest. When we begin to reduce these pressures, these public officers will not engage themselves in the corrupt practices that will end up destroying the entire system. One of another ways or reasons why our politicians are corrupt is called political corruption. Political corruption. When I mean political corruption is a mechanism or a tradition or an internal structure or ideology of political elites, political parties, government in power to extract the state, to oil other structures so that they can remain in power. At the same time, use these resources to favor some individuals, influential personalities, different support groups, so that they will remain in power, thereby abandon the general interest of the public just to favor these individuals, these groups. So political corruption can make a politician that are not corrupt, those politicians that are not corrupt, when they come into power, because this internal mechanism or idea or system has been created, we make them to be corrupt. Immediately they are elected, this very system awaits them. That is the point. They will begin to be influenced negatively against their ideal manifesto. They will begin to use this office to begin to channel and keep nominations that will return them to power, begin to vote money into political parties, percentages, and thereabout, thereby extracting the system. When they extract the system so much and reinvest this money within the party structure, within the support group, within the influential classes, the state will be dry and the general public will begin to suffer underdevelopment. So one of the reasons why our politicians are corrupt is political corruption. Political corruption is a structure that is within the political structure that regulates and influence the politicians and the way they operate. Political corruption is a strong factor that influences the behavior of the politicians once they are elected or part of the government. It's one of the reasons why politicians are corrupt. Another reasons why our politicians are corrupt is that they see politics as an as a means to an end. Most of our politicians are mere opportunists. They see politics as a means to an end to achieve their life ambition. They use political office as an opportunity to achieve everything they have been dreaming in their lives against the interest of the general public. It is wrong for you as an individual to believe that the only way you can succeed or achieve your life ambition is through political office. When such tendencies are in you, such a person is bound to become corrupt. So you as an individual, you as an electorate, should be very, very careful to hand over your mandate, your right to such individuals who only believe that once he achieves a political position, his life will change, or that is the platform where he will now achieve the long life ambition. Politics should not be a means to an end. We should see politics as a vehicle to represent the interest of the public and attract development. Another reasons why our politicians are corrupt is the high cost of running for an election. The expenditure profile, the cost of spending during election is so high. The money involved to represent or contest an election is so high that will make individuals with goodwill not to participate in such an election to serve humanity. Because of this cost of running an election, people with low financial muscle cannot even contest election. The election will now be only for those with high financial muscle, thereby turning the state into plutocracy, the government of the wealthy ones. And when individuals with strong ambition or who wish to cross the boundary lines take such risk, their only fear not to lose such election or not to be re-elected is to begin to siphon the state resources to ensure that they remain in power. You as an individual should begin to direct your votes and begin to direct your vote on individual with characters, not the resources. When you begin to vote for individuals of the wealthy ones and sell your votes, you have already destroyed or eaten your tomorrow's food, which is your future. The cost of running election is part of the tendencies of or why the politicians are corrupt. You as an individual must consider this, that these politicians initially are not corrupt, but because of the cost of running elections, if they lose this election, how and where can they regain back? They must involve themselves to achieve or regain this money in many folds, thereby purging the state into debt and underdevelopment. Why our politicians are corrupt? Our politicians are corrupt because of fear of losing election, because of fear of not being re-elected, because of fear that they could not keep to their manifestos, because of our demands, because of the impossibilities that we believe or we want. Thereby, our politicians become cheap liars, shameless liars, just to make sure they fulfill our pressure, our personal request against the public interest. If really, really you want our politicians who you entrusted your right on the basis of character, you wish them to remain trustworthy, do not put pressure on them. Rather, continue to do your democratic exercise in a conventional manner without selling your vote, without conditioning them before the election. Rather, do what you're supposed to do. When you do that, you will have a democracy, you have an inclusive government, you have master-servant relationship. But in the absence of this, our politicians will continue to be corrupt. Thank you very much. Do share, do subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye for now.